personal records on blockchains, vaccinations, healthcare data, and ID credentials.
So about, I don't know, a little bit less than a year ago, I was probably in one of the chairs in the audience trying to figure out how to solve some business problems for some of my newest ventures. And I got to hear Jimmy, and I got to hear some of the different companies that were presenting on that conference. And here I am, a few months later, with a new venture that actually implements VSV to solve a real-life problem. So my name is Kirsty Barany. I'm the founder and CEO of Sparrow, the first Web3 safety app for online dating. If you think about gaming and gambling, I can't think of a bigger gambling in our time than actually going online dating. We have all heard of the Tinder swindler, right? Admit it, you have all seen it. It became essentially a worldwide hit overnight. And I think it's right now the most watched documentary on Netflix history. And it's just for a reason. Online dating is absolutely unsafe. Not only that, CDC just came with a statistic that completely horrified me. 1 out of 5 people has an STD on any given day. Yeah, I know, horrible. So imagine if you are one of those 50 million online daters in the United States. It's horrendous. So I figured out, that sounds like a pretty big problem to solve. Now, the problem is that I've been trying to solve that problem for years. And the way to do it was to put the user in the center of the problem and in control. Now, what are we doing? Sparrow allows the exchange of third-party verifiable data between 2 people that just met before or during a date with just the click of a button. So no more background checks, because the reality is that nobody says the truth when they are online dating. They always lie a little bit because they want to look a little bit more attractive, right? So if they're trying to hide something from you, for example, if I want to try to hide something from you, I would say, I don't know, instead of Kirsty Barany out of Miami, Florida, probably I'll say I'm Maria Perez out of Los Angeles. Try to figure out who I really am, right? So this way, we have a clear way of transfer verifiable data between 2 people, and we are not sneaking around on anybody's back. How's that to set up a good base for a relationship? And amongst the things that we're sharing date accuracy or adequacy. So we want to know that the person that we're dating is over 18 years old. Otherwise, in the United States, you're going to get in really bad trouble. Now, the other thing that we're doing is reputation. That means criminal records, not only in the United States, internationally. So if you're bad people, we're going to put you out there. Also, sex records, sexual health records. So if you have STI, STD records, and you have a clean bill, hey, you have very much options out there to get very good dates. And here's the cool thing. Our platform gives absolute control to the user. The user is the only person that can decide to share that data with who they want for how long they want. No more sneaking around. So I tried to do this in the past, and Web 2 sucks. There's no way of implementing that solution in Web 2. The reason is there is no way to create a transparent model with traceability. So of course, I tried to raise capital for that. I started to sell the model, and the consumers didn't like the idea. There was no way for them to control it because of Web 2. Web 2 is designed, essentially rigged, to give control to big corporations that make a lot of money out of your data day after day after day without sharing with you a dime. And that's not the problem. The problem is once they get hold of your data, you lose control over it. You don't know where it ends. Now, we're living actually in a pretty amazing moment in time. And people still think that that moment is further ahead. No, it's right now. Right now, for the first time in history, we have a system that allows us to actually flip the system on its head, put the consumer at the center, and allow the consumer to be part of the data business and in control of their data. So how we are solving problems that I used to have with Web 2 using BSV? Well, very simple. First, identity authentication plus anonymity. This is a big one. Safety in the online world is a big, big thing. If you're meeting somebody for the first time and it doesn't go well, you don't want that other person to know your name, your last name, your address, right? So one of the things that we were trying to do was, first and foremost, we need to make sure that the person that we are accepting into our platform are who they say they are. Second, we have to match them with their health, age, and criminal records if they have any, and then we have to detach that. To do that, what we're doing is that we're bringing military-grade identification. We are matching that with international identification systems and then connecting that essentially with the BSV network in order to provide that additional level of transparency. Once that is done, we will have a centralized system that has distributed data and transparency. So the second problem that we were trying to solve was data integrity. In order for us to not only secure the data, but also to be HIPAA compliant, we have to be able to secure the access to that data and make sure that that data is current and accurate, that there has not been any kind of tampering, because that can ruin anybody's reputation. So that is the most obvious implementation of BSV in our platform. The third thing is transaction traceability. And this is a big, big issue for us, because this is what gives transparency to both the user and the company and limits liability to everybody. So every single transaction, every single authentication, every single authorization to share, everything is recorded and chained. And every single transaction is there for future reference. And one of the things that we love the most about the BSV is that it will allow us to do nano payments. This means that we are going to be able to put users in control of their data. They will be the ones telling us if they want to share their data for monetization, when they want to do it, how they want to do it. And we will be just a channel to do that. And we will be able to pay them on the spot for their earnings. And one last word. It's all about trust. If you don't have a solid base when you're creating the systems, you have nothing. Because it's not only essential to have the transparency and the traceability, it's also about the speed, the scalability, and the affordability. Otherwise, it is not viable in a business setup. And BSV is the only chain that is able to do this right now. We are currently building this. We are in track to launch Clear Sparrow end of the year. So for those out there that are looking for a platform to build real business with transparency, with scalability, with speed, this is the chain. I invite you to come by the booth, talk to Jimmy and the team. Welcome to BSV.